All right. Let's hope I can keep on in focus today because there's a lot of things to get me out of focus because of the massive drop. Um, we talked about this a little bit on Tuesday, and hold on, I gotta do a little. All right, let's go to double check to make sure I have a monitor. Here we go, we're good. But yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, and there's a lot of useful there's a lot of useful gear in that product drop. And if you look closely at the thumbnail, we've got the coming of an Action 5. Now, the Action 5, that being said, I talked a little bit about on Tuesday with Kai that the Action 5 I'm actually really interested in. Excuse me. And just because the regular DJI action camera is integrated with, with the mic system and that kind of thing. I don't know if they would have a mic 3 on the board yet. I didn't see him allude to that. The mic 2 is pretty good, no matter what people have already said about it. There's been some complaining about it, but the problem is with Bluetooth, if you get between the transmitter and the receiver, you create a nice liquid wall of flesh that you will get problems, you know. So you kind of it's made to basically have, if you're here's a good example. This is a cheap mic set, and the illustration goes, say I've got here's the receiver, here's the transmitter. Okay, so I've got the receiver, and I stick it on my head. I have now got especially with my brains, I've got there's quite a okay. You go with my skull. Let's just go with it. Okay, there's a lot of matter in between the two. So kind of cool. Yeah, you see right there, it's transmitting right now. Be interesting to do a test where you can put it behind something, stick, you know, obviously you can't hear me now, right? Because my freaking mouth is, anyway, that has, but, that's the problem that people are having with that. And you can't blame the mic system. You can get one of these, you can be into these for about $150. It might even be less than that. This is ready to go. I mean, I could throw this on any action camera. I've used them before, and the noise canceling is really good. I don't think the sound quality is as good as DJI. DJI's got that kind of that golden sound, that everybody really likes. And but I just bought these so I had some backups, and this is a charge case, so it's always ready to go. But yeah, so it was Henrik who who Drone Tech Media that made some comments that he can't count on it. Doesn't mean that he doesn't like the sound. He just says that he can't count on it working, but it does have a recording function. So you just record. You just push the record button, and then you're good. You're golden. You've got the backup recording, and you can fill in all the holes. But he doesn't want to do that, and I can totally understand that. You don't want to have to resurrect your work. So the goal is that you get the camera, whatever it is. See if when do I even have my action here? I've got my old action here. Hold on here. Let me grab that really quick. I'm just going to talk cameras for a second. We've got quite a few things to go over here, and I'm doing it Thursday because Friday I don't know where my brain's going to be. So so okay, we've got an action camera right here, right? This is the action one, which is God God forbid I ever need anything else. because this thing is just absolute killer. And it's quite easy to stick this setup on there. Really, really simple. Basically, you've got USB-C cable, or you can go with the uh, traditional cable. Most will go with this little doodad, and then you got that thing kind of going like that, or whatever direction you want it to go. And then there's your transmitter. Transmitter goes something like this. It's actually pretty, looks hokey pokey, which kind of is. I mean, I could go to cold shoe, and I think because I could go to the cold shoe mount right here, which I've done before. I've got the cable for that. It's actually in the case. Why don't I just do that? So anyway, you go with this little cable. Let's do it that way. Let's, but you guys got my drift. So we go cold shoe, and where's my connector? It is there, right there, right there, and then we go directly into the camera, back that way. Now we're set up just like DJI, that fast. So bam, and you could do that with any camera you got. So set that down. And the nice thing about these, you have a little magnet, so you can go magnet onto the shirt, and you're ready to go, just like DJI. So this is not. I'm not trying to sell this today. Okay, I'm just trying to show you how an Action 5 situation, could be quite easy, especially or at any mic system. You can go with your Rode system. The only time I've ever had problems with the transmit receive has been, there you go. She should be working. Yeah, it's going barely. Are you there? Yeah, there we go. Mic two. It's picking up just enough. But the only time I've ever had problems with the transmit receive has been in the case where I'm too far away. I stand between the camera. I turn my body away from the camera, and we lose audio. And because Bluetooth just doesn't have the transmitting power to go through people. It's just we are very dense objects. But anyway, I like the simplicity. An Action 5 would be greatly, you know, appreciated. Um, and right now it's advertising 1/1.3. There are some videos out there that suggest that the new camera and the pro version would be a 1 inch, but what I'm seeing from the example, if you look at the thumbnail once again, if I throw my thumbnail up, let me just put this stuff aside. But yeah, it's so simple, and quick setup. Got lots of things. That's a print. Pretty much, that setup is traditionally the best vlogging setup. But the 1/1.3, now, why not a 1 inch? Maybe, but the problem with that is I think DJI has got the problem with focusing and close focusing. We talked about close focusing, and you'd have to have a diopter that would fit over your lens, unless that was be a focus diopter. So when you're this far away, you can get in focus, because the focal distance is too far. You'd have to literally go way out here. You have to totally reach. You know, and it's not comfortable with the action. If you ever noticed any videos I've done with the Pocket, the best distance is probably like that far. I mean, as far as I can reach, and then you have to stick the wide angle lens on it. So anyway, nice easy setup. $150 set. And you can get the DJI ones for 150 bucks now. So you're kind of better off just getting the. I would get the ones that will do the recording and. But yeah, I got these a while back and just keep them around because you can never have too many mics, you can never have too many cameras, and you're doing the business I'm doing. But I this is I don't even want to sell this camera because it's still very useful and um but it it's dark and in any kind of low light setting it's not going to be the best camera that you can get. So let's see here. How do I turn this thing on? That was the quick. It doesn't turn on. There you go. That's not going to be useful to anybody. Here, let's throw it on the charger. But an Action 5 would be nice. I think it's time. I think after all the bugs of the Action 3 and have been taken care of. The other camera that's probably even better. This is my old RS. This is the media mod for that, and this lens is better than the Action lens, so you get a much better a better sensor result. So dark doesn't hurt this. So I keep this one around, and it's really a crapshoot whether I use that one or not, unless I want the DJI colors to be the same, because DJI's color science is consistent. That's why a lot of people I want to either use DJI or I'm going to use GoPro, but I'm not going to go in between. It's one or the other. All right, let's put that away. But we've got a lot of options, and you guys that are into vlogging or family photos and imagery, and you're just trying to do an event. All right, nice to see you though, Zambo. Zambo was in here early. Tex Arts Drone, how you doing? And Possum's in here. But yeah, Thursday afternoon stream 142. Playing a little hooky right now. Um, but not much for me to do. I'm ready to go. I start work Monday with people, with actual students. A little bit of hooky going on today. I just have nothing to do. Done everything. Went through all the meetings and the big thing that's on my mind is these products. So let's go down. So we've already got rid of the Action 5. The Action 5 is so far from the images that have been shown to us. Okay, and I can go and put that one up. We just go and pop that image up. It from all intents and purpose, there's absolutely nothing that says anything different that this here is not going to be anything but a 1/1.3 camera. Okay, which I'm not very disappointed. I've already got the focal length and distance from the Pocket. Pocket's still my main vlogging camera. It's so good. Now, this is what the Action 5 could do. And I talked a little bit about it when I was with Kai on Tuesday. It's called an AI assistant that all these companies are putting AI into their products. Okay. So what they could do with the Action 5 is they could bring in an AI assistant to center the subject. So that takes the gimbal away. And then the Pocket 3 becomes cannon fodder to me. If an Action 5, a fixed length focal, hold on here. All right, my computer wants to do an update. No, it's not going to happen. Anyway, this camera is going to allow me a lot more freedom. It's going to do what a gimbal does. It already pretty much does that. And now it's going to have AI built into it where it's going to track my face inside of a fixed focal camera. It'll probably crop in a little bit. But if this does all that and I don't have to worry about a gimbal, that's, to me, is very, very good. That's something that would really change the way we use action cameras if we can get the same thing. Because I had a battle with Ken Herron way back when he was just, he was still the hot commodity. He's still obviously doing 200,000 uh, a subscriber channel. But before, when he was 50, I got into it with him because I was flying the Bebop way back then. And I'm like, this is what's going to happen with cameras. This is the future where it's going to be electronic image stabilization. He goes, no, 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 no. Nothing will ever replace a gimbal. He's one of those old. I mean, he's the same age as me, and he's talking like he's 100 years old. But we had a little bit of a spat. It's fun, it's all in fun. But that's what's happening. If this camera does that, it will be what I expected was going to happen with this technology. And then, of course, DJI is going to put their $1 billion spin on the action camera. So anyway, the Action 5, this could be the camera that I finally have to dive in, get this camera, and then I stick the Pocket possibly on the shelf. Or I have to have a fire sale to get rid of all my other cameras, $50 a camera, something like that. Get rid of the Action. Original Action is still amazing for somebody that doesn't have a camera. I've got the Action 2 Creator Kit, or the Pocket 2 Creator Kit, not doing anything. That can go. And then I've got the 360 camera, which is, $50, $50, $50 gone, and then I can throw the money towards something, that it's going to bring us ahead. But anyway, so Action 5, just changing things, changing things. It says AI automatic incrimination, man, oh man. Just try word searching one's own gallery. Let's see. Automatic incrimination. Yes, it would. It can, once it sees you, you are automatically incriminated. I, I totally understand where you're going with that, Lambo, especially from the land of Tampon Tim. So, all right, I said it. Okay, I I am so glad I don't live in Minnesota right now. So glad. I mean, that's lucky. Even though I had a great time. Um, I went back for about a month and had a great time. Flew my drones, saw the lake, enjoyed the Midwest. It was great. Got some thunderstorms. Had a couple of rain like crazy. It was great, but I can't do politics in the Midwest right now. It's kind of harsh. All right, we try to stay out of that. It really takes away from what I like to do anyway. So, all right, moving on here. I said it. I said it. Yes, I did. Um, let's go to our next topic. Let's jump over to the air. Let's just whip off the one that we know it's not going to take as much time. Let's go to the Air. Let's go to the Air 3S. Okay, let's go to the Air 3S because he's going to say, and we're back. Okay, let's so let's go to the Air 3S, and the Air 3S is obviously going to happen. It's going to be a next level drone. It's going to be a pro drone. People are going to that use their drone as a primary camera platform. Realtors, the Air 3S is probably going to serve them because you get those great macro shots. You get great shots that are wide angle. You get down to like 70 millimeter to 25 millimeter, and then you of course get the zoom. All of those are 1-inch sensors, supposedly based upon the latest news. Um, so that would be a good thing. See if I can knock in one of those examples here. I've got them all kind of. I've got the other pictures, the images, the standard images. Man, I got to go way back. Holy crap! We have to go way back in time. We have to go way back in the X posts. Oh, let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm taking so long here. I do have the images just sitting on the drive. There it is. There supposedly is an Air 3S right here. All right. So the 3S, you know, like I said, two 1 inch fixed cameras. No, and I think Doble might have talked about. He was talking about the hotel products and that they made an enterprise with a lidar scanner on it. I'd say that in the future, as these costs come down, that a consumer grade drone will have a lidar scanner on it without or some kind of lidar like helping device to help it do what it needs to do. But this one might. They're thinking that the nose of this right here is a place either for a lidar or it does have it in there. That's going to have some kind of a additional um, power. It's going to have the ability to do more using that, helping the cameras fix focus and see images up close, even further away, that kind of stuff. See the terrain. What are we looking at? A subject? Are we looking at a landscape? Those kinds of things. But yeah, so the Air 3S is going to be that $1,800 range in the newer version. I think I paid $1,500 for it, something like that. I think in the Fly More kit, it might have been less. I think it was just over 1,000. I think I paid it was like $1,200 for it. And if you were interested in getting into the Air 3, I would do that, especially if the price comes down. It was like I've flown every DJI drone this year and last year, every single one except for the enterprise stuff. And the drone that I liked the most, and I was so impressed with the most, and I flew the least. Okay, so there are people that are. It wasn't the Mini 4. The Mini 4 was great, but the Mini 4 still has limitations when you are flying um, in weather. The Air series can take the weather just like the Mavic. So we got to open up ourselves a. We got to get bucked up here right now. So if you guys are right there, that's the drink of choice in this area, bucked up. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to invest in the Mini in the Air 3, especially if I know this other drone is on the list of products coming out, and that is the Mavic 4. The Mavic 4 is a change in design, and to me, that's very interesting. It's going to be way more aerodynamic than this, even though this thing can literally just, I mean, 45 minutes. You literally fly so long with the Air 3 that you can fly two missions with the same battery. The Mavic is the same way. So you don't lose any time between the two drones. That's why I'm saying, excuse me, just get the Air 3. At the first version, you get the 70 mil, you know, images. I love 70 mil because you get this huge picture with this with this focus of an object. It's just unbelievable. It's like it's so cool. Last summer I had the Air 3 back in Minnesota when I was working with my dad, and I was flying in the smoke and everything, and it was amazing. It was probably the most enjoyable drone flying, just stress free, because you can't get stressed when you got 40 minutes. You just don't. I had I had three batteries. I rarely used the second battery in any given day. I had to just like day one, day two, use battery two, then day three, use battery three because I'd fly so long. And how with a GPS bird, you can only do so much with 40 minutes. I got a lot of things to do during any given day. So the Air 3 S, if it has the lidar, built into it. And if they updated those cameras to 1 inch from 1/1.3, some people are saying just add a mechanical shutter. I don't know if they did that with this. Some people are thinking that it might. So, but this is the cat's meow. If you need a product right now that you can count on no matter what the weather is, and you need to get images for your job, for your business. If you, in the other thing is portability. The case that came in, I actually held a Air 3 case in one of my live streams next to the other case, okay, the case that the minis come in, all right? And the Air 3 case is very similar to the Avata 2 case, except it's narrower. Okay, this has a lot more gear in it, has the goggles. So if you take this and you just squash it down, you can put the Mavic, you can put the Mavic 3 and the Air 3 almost in the same case. And 3 batteries, and it's light. So you get this really compact drone, easily traveling with it. It was very easy to travel with the Air 3. So I also traveled with the Mavic 3 Pro. And the Mavic 3 Pro it's a Mavic 3. It's a bigger airframe. But everything but obviously you get the third camera, you get the zoom. So you get the 70 mil, you get 24 mil, and then you get the zoom. Where, I mean, literally with the Mavic 3 Pro, I went to about 300 feet and I zoomed in on a guy in a fishing boat, and you could see him pretty good. You couldn't make his face, but guys, that is a long ways away. That's why the military is using those cameras um, to great effect. Oh, oh man, COVID just doesn't leave you, man. It just stays with you. All right, let's go to the Mavic 3. Okay, we'll leave the Neo behind. We'll leave the Neo before for the last ditch. So we got a great drone there. We got. Let me see if I can find that. I need to have a button for that one. Oh, let's look at this really quick. Let's look at this. This is actually quite humorous. Let's check this out. And I actually challenge one of you guys to do this. Okay, so this is the DJI, and they threw an Action 4 on that plane. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely fake. I can't believe they did that. Unless that little tiny plane has a freaking just a badass jet engine. It has no aerodynamic. Giant freaking camera on there. But that's that camera's probably, especially as fast as they sped it up. Definitely a 5 inch freaking quad, FPV quad going. But that's just nuts. That's such a fake video. It's so garbage. You just can't. That just makes zero sense. And that's how stupid. That's how stupid companies think we are sometimes. They think we are so stupid that this is actually possible. And maybe I should cut that same video. Take a little, take a little tiny freaking like Cinewhoop like this, and just throw it in the air, and then mount a freaking a micro four thirds freaking full frame camera on it. Oh, that's a ridiculous video. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if any of you guys suckered into that one, oh, that was horrible. To carry that camera, you would need probably 3 times the wingspan of that plane. It would have to be massive, you know. I mean, that is not a light camera. So you know, I'm going to go back here. I mean, you would need some serious wings. I would say minimum of 2.5 feet, maybe 3 feet, or a flying wing with a lot of wing surface. But the problem is the weight and center of gravity of that is so poorly laid. When you stick that camera right where it's at, I mean, it literally has to move back. That CG right there is terrible. Then you'd have to flip the camera sideways to drop the CG down even more. So it's fun, but it's so garbage. And some of us are stupid enough to try that, I mean, and then you break your camera. So anyway, I thought that video was trash, and DJI, I don't you'll they'll never give me a drone, which I do not care. Be nice, but and of course I care, but I just can't. I have a terrible ability to tell the truth. So when I lie, you can tell. And it's kind of like every time I tell you guys that I'm not going to buy this. You guys know for a fact that from the way I say it, my demeanor, that I'm going to buy it. So, let me see if I can let's just load the image. I'm just going to pick up that image for you guys for the Mavic, because the Mavic 4 is a new design. It is a new design that we need to, and it's not here. I've got a good image that I have loaded up for us right here. Very helpful. And this is what makes the Mavic 4 very unique. Okay. It's this baseball. Some guy said softball size, probably the size of a small baseball. Okay. So they took the camera and they made it a ball, like a ball turret in an old B-17. Okay. And they mount I mean, if you look at it, it looks like a ball turret, from a B-17 bomber. You know what I'm saying? And then they shove it up inside of the fuselage. Very, very, very unique. Then you get the air, that scooped air surrounding the sensor. Right? You could say that it's you know possibly heating up more, but this thing's a giant heat sink. The other images that they showed of this, I had the video uploaded. Now I can't find the video. But the fuselage the bottom is a heat sink. It is taking away a lot of heat, and it's shorter. But they probably squash or squoze the camera down. Now it's Hasselblad, and somebody very quickly said that the Hasselblad name goes on the Mavic series. So this is a Mavic 4, unlike any Mavic 4 ever. And it will be a very new design. It will have all of the recoverability of the Mavics, where basically you can, uh, you know, I've even seen videos where they say don't set up your return to home. So it's following the terrain, that you're more likely to hit a tree. Yeah, no, it just depends on where you're flying. If you're flying around, rocky, thick, dense stuff, the drone's not going to fly into it. It's going to fly up and around it. But hey, East Coast, how you doing? So this Mavic 4 is going to be what I'm interested in flying this year. So if it takes me being more patient, I don't know. It'll be very hard to go by any release of the Air 3S. I did the Air 2 and the Air 2S. Maybe I'm kind of doomed to doing the Air 3, Air 3S. I did those in order like that. And then I did the Mavic 3. I did the Mavic 3 Pro. I did not buy the Mavic 3 Classic because I already used the airframe and the original camera with the zoom, the telephoto camera that it had with it. So I didn't really need to do a test on that budget version, even though I was very interested in it. It's got one of the best cameras you can stick on a drone. It's basically a flying micro four thirds camera. It's takes great images. So, but this one is very unique, even though it's broke. It's going to offer us a new Mavic and a Mavic of a slightly different variation. So, very interested in this one. Um, the cameras are going to be quite the same as the array that the Mavic 3 Pro had. So the Mavic 4 Pro is going to have, but the one thing that we don't know is, does it have a sensor of some kind like they're going to test in the Air 3S? Does that nose piece in the Air 3S have that LiDAR sensor in there? Are they going to put that inside of this? So it becomes smarter. So Dusty saw the good stance against the Crown Royale last night. Oh, I had a little Crown Royale this summer. I did a whole night of Crown Royale. I was drinking it in orange juice glasses that tall. Crown Royale, not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Some good bourbon. Price is okay too. The price is pretty reasonable. Um, like the High West, or that's rye. Or Bullet. Bullet's pretty good. So I'm kind of I do like the Bullet. All right. So we've talked about the Action 5. Got a thumbs up on the Action 5. We've talked about the Air 3S potential, and of course the Mavic 4, being probably the most interesting, probably the most capable thing. It's going to be a fourth version of their flagship, and it's going to be probably a camera user's dream. Hopefully, they don't disappoint anybody. And now we're back down to Old Faithful. Should I show? Maybe I'll go to our. Let's turn that off here. That's that image right there. Turn that image off there. We're going to go to the star of the show, because you know that the Neo has been the star of pretty much every show in town. And I'm gonna lay out a prediction with the Neo. Let me find an image of the Neo here. Why don't I have a Neo on here? How can I not have a Neo photo? How can that be? How can that be possible in 2024 that Dad Random does not have a Neo image? Not hard to get one. I could have, dang, I could have sworn I just uploaded one. Probably my other computer. All right, this takes a second. Let me just run over to X here and just pop one in. I want the newer one. The new one that came out is pretty good. There's that video. Here we go. Here, let's look at this really quick before we pop over. This is the 4. Okay. Can I go full? I can't go full screen with that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Not with the way I got it set up. Okay. So, which is not a problem. So here is the gimbal. Now it's important to see, it's mounted straight in the back. So it's rear mounted, and it sticks out like an eyeball. Okay. So we got this eyeball fixed to the rear. Okay. So we've got a very stable, and then of course it's aerodynamic because it's shoved into the body. course, this one's got the damage, but that is a really good looking, probably a baseball sized drone. Now look at the fuselage. So this thing is just is crammed into that man. It's like the mouth of a nurse shark or something, or maybe even a whale shark that's feeding on plankton. I mean, it's got its mouth wide open and it's just filtering. That's what it seems like. And then there's the bottom. That whole bottom, and it's been peeled away. That's all heat sink. So that bottom is just a giant heat dispersing because that camera is now up inside the body. And we've got all the visible sensors. And we've got something going on right there. I have no idea what it looks like, a tail skid of some kind. No, those are just bumpers because you got those big old batteries that go in there. The batteries are heavy. I think they'll take them freaking big batteries and they'll go for 45 minutes, damn near 50-minute flight time. Look at that. Look at that battery bay. It is huge. So if you ever flown the Mavic 3, look at that. And you got the air scoop. Look at that. And you got that rear fin. So you got that hot air going through and then it's dissipating through it. So you got this airflow going through the Mavic 4. Just really well designed. DJI just knocks it out of the park. And of course, you've got these larger props. So the props are shoved way to each side, over 9 inches. Those props are very, very big. Very big props. Oh, about 9.5 inches. I got 10-inch props, big 10 inches up there, up on my. So there's the motor mounts. This is before it was broke there. There you can see the props are all chewed up. And then there's the big battery. Probably the most impressive thing is, like, so the battery got munched and still works. So he only flew it for about 30 minutes. We got 2 lights. So anyway, that's a very helpful video. So if you have a chance here, let me put that link up there. So if you have not watched this, excuse me, I really apologize for my here. Let me copy that link down, paste it in there. So you got that link in there. But I would check that out if you're interested in because this is going to be the cat's meow of the next of those, that flurry of DJI products that's coming out. Just very, very interesting. All right. So, all right, give you guys a break of that screen there and give you some yours truly. Let's go to the final. Let's go to the most recent drop. Let's go to mine. Let's use my here. This is fun. I did this. I did this today. It's a really nice image. So, and probably more truthful than anything. You're going to see here. So this is the Neo, which is okay. This is my prediction. I'm just going to go right out at it. The Neo will be the highest selling DJI product ever. The Neo is going to beat everything. It is going to beat the original Action 1. It's going to sell more than the Mini 1. It's going to sell more than the Spark. It's going to sell more than the Phantom. This, my friends, is going to be the greatest blockbuster for DJI because I know, guys, if I already see the feedback I'm getting on my live streams from this product only, and it is killing it right now. It's got a couple things that are going for it. One is price. 2 is usability. It's going to be easy to use. It's going to fit within the current laws, and it is going to have multiple uses. So people that are advanced users and people that are newbies are going to love this thing. It will be the most sold DJI product ever. Mark my words. And DJI, if you're listening, I'm just telling you, it will freaking knock the socks off of the user base. It is just, there's so many things that make this a great product. Now, one of the things I did with this image, I added it, is I added the controller 3. Okay, why it's going to be the controller 3 and not the one in the video in the image that you saw. Somebody dropped an image where it was holding the controller 2. The controller 3, there's reasons for this. Okay? The controller 3 is very small. It is about it is about a third less in size than the other 2 controllers, and it does the same thing. Okay, better for a smaller hand. They're only $100. They're cheap, and they have the extra buttons. So you've got the wheel, you've got a full-on joystick, and you've got 2 function buttons. You've got a camera button, and then you got the power button. This thing has a lot more functionality than the previous. So this one is probably going to come or be useful with this drone. You're going to have to buy it separate though. You're going to buy that for $325 or whatever with the 3 batteries. They might have a kit that comes with this $100 controller. I would fly it with this. Why not? Look at how small it is. And you can fly it line of sight. So, Lambo just made a very important he made a very important comment. And one of the problems is that this device and this device are both useful through the goggles. We don't know if there's another, if DJI has the ability to, bring, because it does have Wi-Fi. So it does, we know that it probably has Wi-Fi, I think. I don't know if Mads Tech has talked about Wi-Fi in it. You have to ask Mads Tech. He's the man. It does, just, we don't know. And like I said, we're going to have to, but the problem is these devices work through the goggles. And what that's going to do is give DJI one more thing that they're going to do to blow us away with this product. And what they're going to do, or Lambo does Zambo. Okay. By the way, hey Lambo, you drive Zambo? My nephew just certified as a Zamboni operator, and Zamboni, he basically manages a rink. So I can't remember. It's a private school. He just got the job. My brother actually drives Zambo too. So they both are Zambo drivers, and his son now is like a pro. He went to Vegas, got certified, got ice and all that. He's going through the whole thing. So pretty cool. But yeah, you got to have the goggles. Those things work through these. Now, like I said, there's a link from the controller, the goggles, to the device. I don't know if those devices have the ability to do that. Now the controller 2 does. And that's what I think Zambo is bringing up is that the controller 2 is not dependent on the goggles. The controller 3 is. But it doesn't mean that they can't all work. Because once again, you have to have the goggles and the controller to work together for now this. Okay. You can't work one or the other, or you have to have the controller. With the old system, with the O2 system, with this, you could do that. You could have the controller 2, the motion 2, and those kinds of things. So that's the very important point to understand is that these things don't function the same together, and that's where we have a huge mystery. We know that this thing will function on its own, but we don't know what the what assistive technology it's going to use. I'm hoping it has an O3 in there. I'm hoping that that is an O3 camera with a micro four, a 1/123" sensor in it. We talked about that last on Kai stream, and guys, the video that's going to come out of this is going to be out of this freaking world. And then I can throw it through GyroFlow, and even if I'm having it do follow me, that's why this thing is going to sell more than any device that DJI has ever made. This is their blockbuster. This is going to kill the US market, and people are going to be lined up for days to get this thing. Well, they're not going to be lined up for days because they're going to make a lot of them. But once these videos start coming out, I'm just telling you, this thing is going to be the biggest seller in the history of DJI. You mark my words. And I've been watching DJI products come out for 6 years now. This is my 6th year doing this stuff, and this is the most excited I've been in a product since the Mini One. So, it's got the price, it's got the functions, it's got the different usability levels. It is good. It's going to have the quality. It will blow doors in the U.S. market and other markets around the world. The Chinese are going to make so much money on this. They're going to be able to walk away and go, you know, they're going to drop the mic on this one. So literally going to drop the mic. But yeah, so we'll soon see. We will soon see. All right. I think that's all I got, man. We are an hour into it. I thought it would be short, but not with 5 products. Not with 5 products. And then we've got that thing that we don't know, mystery thing. And the mystery thing is not the same as this. I keep, when I talk about the mystery thing, you know what I mean by the mystery thing. I do have an image of that. I'll just quickly go over this, and we'll finish this stream up. But the mystery image is, let's go ahead, and it's this image right here. We know that the mystery image is, it's not the Neo. It's not. And maybe Kai's right on this one. Maybe it's a Tello, but it is very unique, and it is not anything that we've seen. It just is totally different. Not just because of the color differences. It's just different. It's just built different. It's different. It might even be a different company. We've seen that before, where products are, slammed in, and people just, take one thing and connect it to another thing, but all right. But that is the mystery product. I call it the Mini 5. Guy's calling everything the Phantom 5 because the Phantom 5 is the product that will never be made. But this will be the hottest product in DJI history. And they're going to sell grundles, these things. Grundles. Mr. Reynolds, how you doing? Guys, if you have not, please knock out the thumb for me. And if you can, go back in the stream, and if you have not, we're not here, especially towards the end when we're kind of getting at some of the key features of especially this thing. But it is going to be amazing. And like I said, everybody's going to have one. It's not out of reach for people. They can afford this. They can make payments on it. They can pay for 6 months, even for that $300. So they're paying $700 for it. Oh man, I was there one time. I bought a stereo from Sears when I was a kid on one of those high interest cards. Oh my God, I think I paid $300 for a $75 stereo because I kept paying compound interest. Yeah. So, all righty, guys. I am out of here once again. I told you this will be the most sold item in the history of DJI. So, and I just, as much as I would like to not believe that or to, ease up on on the throttle on that comment, um, it is going to be a big seller. All right. Hey, let's go back to the, here we're going to go full circle on these cameras here. We're going to go full circle on this. This is the Action 1. I told you I'm in on the Action 5. It does come out. There it is. Look at that. That thing is so, what does it say? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. It was so dead that it's trying to ask. It thinks it's 2019. Now it's 2024 and it's what? The 8.8 or September 8th, right? It's 9/8. All right. What time is it? Let's see here. It's time to quit. 2:26. I still have. I have to set it up. I have to set up the camera. It's been that long since it's been going. Hey, if anybody wants to buy this thing, I probably will give you a good deal on it. There we go. Look at that. That is one of the greatest cameras ever made. Just freaking. It was one of the first with the Stabe and everything. All right. But Dad Random. All right. Let's get out of here. Have a good one, guys. It's Thursday. Have a great Friday. Um, and remember, you heard it here. Biggest seller in the history of DJI. It's coming. It is going to be amazing. One product after another, 5 products, possibly 6 out there, maybe 7. We got gimbals. We got all kinds of stuff. DJI's just knocking it out. They're trying to meet these deadlines and they're afraid of the US market. And I'm just hoping this thing comes, the 20th, the 20th, we'll know. We will know on the 20th. See you later. Bye.